Howdy folks, I'm Brian,
I'm Amber.
and here's some Reddit. Our first letter is titled, Will I be the jerk if I told my husband's boss what he was doing instead of working from home? And there are some adult themes involved in this one. I am a 33-year-old female and my husband is a 34-year-old male, and he's been working home since the pandemic started. He only goes into the office every now and then, and it's when there's a team meeting. This time of year, his team usually has less work, so he's basically working in the morning and keeps himself on hold during the rest of the day in case anyone needs him. While he's on hold, he doesn't work at all. I've seen him watching YouTube videos, reading books, cleaning stuff in the house, and I don't feel it's very professional, and I've told him that. He always says that he has a cell phone with him, which notifies him in case someone messages him via Teams. Recently, though, I've seen him doing some adult stuff during work time, and I just couldn't sum up the courage to confront him on it, so I let it go. He hasn't stopped. However, I'm afraid this will become a daily thing. He doesn't seem to be watching any adult videos, though. Today, I saw him doing it again, and I let myself accidentally catch him. He was embarrassed, but didn't feel sorry at all. He laughed it off and said, "Please let me know if you're coming into the room all of a sudden, lol." I told him it was very unprofessional for him to do this, and that he would get in trouble if his boss found out. He told me that there's no way his boss can find out, and I shouldn't worry about it. Our adult fun time life is pretty good, and I honestly don't know where this urge is coming from. It kind of upsets me because it's during his work time, and also because he was doing it in secret, he never mentioned it to me. If this goes on, I'm thinking about sending an email to his boss to tell him about the problem, but I feel this would be stabbing my husband in the back if I did it. And edit. Some people are communicating saying that my husband would lose his job. I don't think that's a possibility because his boss is a long-term friend of his. At worst, he would be receiving a big warning. Alright folks, what do you think? Jerk or not the jerk?
You would be the jerk. This is something that you and your husband need to work out either together or in counseling.
Yeah, so I think OP, you're kind of misplacing what the important issue here is. You and your husband seem to be having some kind of issues here, and I think that you need to sit down and communicate with him and explain what you're feeling. Like, it feels like you feel betrayed with him doing this, and I think that if you want him to talk to you and sit down and discuss what's going on inside his head here, then you need to sit down and talk with him. He's not going to, of course, come forward with, this information. He's not going to volunteer it, but you've opened up the dialogue, and I think you need to sit down and have a conversation with him. I think that this is not your boss's concern. People could do this in a work building if they wanted to, although it would be harder, right? But there are bathrooms and stuff like that, right? And I think that that is something to keep in mind. While I think that your husband is kind of acting unprofessional in the respect that, like, there's a lot of things that could go wrong, and your husband could get caught and or not realize he was on a video or any number of things, and then that could be a really bad situation. So it's probably not good to be doing this. I think that this is, I think that, again, the act that he's performing is something that you need to talk to him about if you're uncomfortable with him doing that during the work day. So I think that, if his boss knows that he's working from home and is his friend, you really do not need to involve his friend in this aspect of his life. And this is just something that you need to talk to him on your own about. Anyhow, take care and good luck. Major, you're the jerk. Keep your marital problems within your marriage. This was wild from start to finish. I don't even know where to rank you on the scale. Telling his boss would be very unhinged. You hurt your man's pockets, your pockets are going to be hurting too, right? I think the bigger problem is why you feel the need to snitch on your man. Also, if he's working from home, then you're keeping tabs. What's your job? Sorry, my jaw is on the floor. And OP says, I work in IT and I've been working from home since 2018. So it sounds like OP is also working from home. And it might just be that OP sees her husband having an easier time at work in like a more relaxed setting. And she might be even envious about it to some degree. But again, like, this is something that she needs to talk to him about, and they need to work out these issues on their own. He's doing his job, it sounds like, and he's not getting any trouble for not performing his duties. So he's doing what the company is paying him to do. But I do agree that it is a little bit questionable. I think that he's taken it to a questionable place
Mm-hmm.
for sure. Our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Leaving My Sister and Her Husband in the Rain? Throwaway. My girlfriend Emily is a food content creator. She loves what she does with her food, and her food is always tasty. If she decided to open up a restaurant, she would always be fully booked. She does not do professional catering, but she likes to prepare food for friends and family. A little context. A few weeks ago, my sister Paige wanted to host a dinner party for her friends and family, 8 guests in total. She asked Emily to help her design an elaborate course menu. Eventually, this turned into Paige hiring Emily for the night to prepare and cook all of the meals. Paige is paid half of the agreed amount and promised to pay the remaining balance by a certain date. Well, Emily spent days prepping, cooking, cleaning, etc. to make sure the dinner was perfect. She spent the entire day at their house prepping, and she also helped Paige clean the house in preparation for the guests. At first, she says that she was overwhelmed, but nothing that she couldn't handle. She was alone working in the kitchen. The guests arrive almost 2 hours earlier than Emily was expecting. According to Emily, my brother-in-law, sister's husband, started to brag about their new exotic maid. Gross. That they hired because of the event. He went on mentioning how hard it was to understand their maid because of her accent and how obedient she is. You can tell this is Brian's impressed face. My sister lives in an open style planned house, so Emily could hear all of the things in the kitchen. Emily was incredibly uncomfortable the entire time, and as soon as it finished, she left. I asked Paige and my brother-in-law to apologize, but they refused. To make things worse, Paige has not paid Emily the rest of her promised money. Every time we call, text, or email, she straight up ignores us. I assume that they had blocked us on all social media, messages, etc. It's gross, and I'm just upset with them. Well, a couple days ago, Emily posted a new food related video. It was very good and looked very tasty. About 2 hours later, my sister and her husband are outside of my door in the pouring rain asking to come in. I was confused, but I assumed that maybe they were apologizing. I didn't let them in, I just opened the door a little bit. Boy, was I wrong. Paige mentioned how she saw Emily's new post and wanted to come and try it herself. I was stunned. Not only was I disappointed in them for not apologizing or paying Emily, I was shocked by the ridiculousness of their thought process. That they would show up for free food like nothing happened, ignoring the fact that Emily doesn't upload her content on the same day that she makes it. I asked Paige and my brother-in-law to apologize, and when it was clear that they were making excuses, I said goodbye and I shut the door in their faces. They sat outside with no umbrella or rain jacket for almost an hour, calling our names and spamming our doorbell. I got a call from my brother-in-law demanding me apologize because I got Paige sick. Emily thinks that I may have been a little bit too petty. All right, folks, what do you think? Jerk or not the jerk?
Not the jerk.
OP. No. You told them to get off your lawn. And they just chose to stand in the rain.
Mm-hmm.
You are not responsible if someone chooses to stand in the rain. They're adults. They figured out how to get there. They can figure out how to get home. You are not responsible for her getting sick. You're not responsible for her for standing in the rain. Plain and simple. What they did here was extraordinarily gross. Like the whole talking about her like she was just some some worker person who they had obedient worker that they had control over. One, it's dehumanizing to individuals who actually have these jobs, make their living by being help. And then treating it like it just seems very gross. It seems very, very gross the way they said it. Shows that they don't value what she does, and they wanted to treat her like she was their own personal servant, and I think that that's just kind of gross in general. So anyhow, take care and good luck. Not the jerk, this is what I like to call mess around and find out. They were rude the whole way through. You should also take them to small claims court where they will be forced to pay the remainder of what's owed. Though you may want to go a legal subreddit or a lawyer to see what you can do. I'm shocked that he answered the door at all. Exotic maids indeed. Alright folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here. Amber has some tea as well. And as the prophecy foretold, we have jokes and a joke book. What is hard to beat? A broken drum. Oh my goodness, a broken drum. That would be very hard to beat. Thank you, joke book, for another spectacular joke. And I have Earl Grey. Everyone's probably like, "Oh, Brian, you finally swapped it up on us." Yes, yes, I did. Everyone was guessing mint, so I had to change my. I had to change it. I'm sorry. Alright folks, that's all the time we have for today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, consider giving me a like, and if you didn't, consider giving me a dislike. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.
Howdy folks, I'm Brian,
I'm Amber.
and here's some Reddit. Some Tuesday Reddit, right? Tuesday, Friday Juniors Eve Juniors of Eve Juniors. Friday's Juniors, Eve's Juniors. I guess Monday is now Manic Monday. June has ordained it as Manic Monday. So Nick Monday. None of this is actually going to make it into the original cut, so hopefully you're enjoying the extended intro cutscene. Howdy folks, I'm Brian.
I'm Amber.
And here's some Tuesday Reddit. Friday Junior's Eve Reddit. Junior's Eve. We're never gonna get past the intro here. Howdy folks, I'm Brian.
I'm Amber.
And here's some Reddit. Everyone's like, no. Everyone's be like, why is he laughing hysterically about it? It's not that funny, Brian. We have fun here. We have fun. Hopefully you've really enjoyed this long intro scene.